Hey, I'm the devil.
Hey, I'm good.
We discuss hot topic issues of the day.
And the crazy stuff people say to gain attention for themselves.
This week, we'll give our take on Megyn Kelly and Aaron Rodgers. But before we do, let's roll that intro. So God, speaking of free will, let's discuss if you screwed up thinking humans can handle such a thing.
Oh, come on, man.
No, serious. Let's look at these two idiots.
Hey, they're my children. You call them idiots again, I effing dare you.
Okay, fine. These two human beings. Anyway, these two knuckleheads said some crazy shit last week. Let's start with Megyn, shall we?
Colin Kaepernick, he and I we've had some Twitter dust-ups. I mean, he's insane. This is a racist guy. He really is a racist guy, and he hates our country. He hates America.
So, Megyn thinks Colin's a racist now. When did that happen?
Oh, don't worry. If you can't leap to that conclusion by yourself, she's happy to explain it to you.
It starts off with the NFL draft. Unbelievable. It's going back and forth now between NFL owners looking at players and would-be slave owners looking at slaves to buy. Unbelievable. Oh. Have you guys seen that?
Wow. No. I mean, that's incredibly offensive.
It's
incredibly offensive.
I don't get it. Why are they so offended by that? Did they play in the NFL or something?
The progressive left has become, over the last 10 years, entirely a victimhood culture. And you cannot have any control of your own destiny. It's all predestined by people who are, controlling what you do, what you think, where you can go, how much money you can make.
Hey, wait a minute. I feel like I'm being gaslit. Aren't these guys literally telling Colin what they should think and say, even though he's simply sharing his own personal experiences?
By the way, I'm told that in his role as, former quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, his deal wound up being worth $43 million.
Yeah, that sounds great for Colin, but what about those other players invited to the combine?
Smart question. Salaries in the NFL, unlike the other major sports, are not guaranteed. In fact, the minimum salary is actually $430,000, with quarterbacks getting most of the money. Not to mention the fact that unless you're drafted in the higher rounds, your chance of making it in the NFL are very, very low. And because of the nature of the sport, the average NFL career is only approximately 3 years. For some positions, like running back, it's only 2.5 years.
So basically, unless you're drafted high, your chances of making millions in the NFL is extremely low.
Not only that, but the NFL already has a way to measure a player's worth just by watching what they did, making millions for colleges all over the country every Saturday afternoon.
I can't believe somebody at Netflix didn't get up and walk their asses out over this bullshit propaganda about our country, the NFL, white people in general. This is outrageous.
Well said, Megyn.
No, Megyn, not well said. Not well said. You're judging a person even though you don't know anything about the subject and couldn't even be bothered to empathize with another human being's experience because it doesn't fit your experience. So Mrs. Kelly, who never played in the NFL, didn't grow up being attacked for her skin, is judging a man who was. So Cap's a racist now, all because he has the audacity to point to certain similarities?
Hey, you know something? Personally, I always like art forms that express ideas to get people to think about some of the things they accept as normal. So anyway, I've been working on that new galaxy I was telling you about and haven't had time to keep up. As a quarterback who once got his team to the Super Bowl, I'm sure he's got a good job, in the NFL somewhere, maybe as a backup or something.
No, and that brings me to Mr. Rodgers.
Yo, I love Mr. Rodgers on PBS.
I'm going to get you ready for your immunization. Okay, you'll feel a little pinch as it's going in, okay? Just relax.
No, not that, Mr. Rodgers. I'm talking about the QB for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, what's up with him?
Well, apparently, after telling the news media...
Are you vaccinated?
Yeah, I've been immunized. There's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys.
This week, he tested positive, and it turns out he isn't vaccinated at all.
So what does that have to do with what we were discussing, other than I lost some money on Sunday?
I'm getting there. This is what Aaron had to say when explaining himself after getting caught lying to the public.
I realize I'm in the crosshairs of the woke mob right now, so before my final nail gets put in my cancel culture casket, I think I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies that are out there.
Oh, I see. You're saying Aaron Rodgers, who is currently under contract to play football, is saying he's going to get canceled, forgetting that the only player to really get canceled...
Other than the few that beat their wives.
Right. Other than them. Colin was literally canceled out of the NFL for silently protesting police brutality, and Rodgers is claiming to be some sort of victim of the woke left, even though he isn't. While that attention-seeking crazy lady is claiming Netflix should have canceled the show and never put it on their air in the first place.
Nailed it. Finally.
Yeah, man, I can see how effed up that is.
So
What?
Do you now regret giving humans free will and thought?
It's tough to hear these things about my children, but what do you want me to do about it? Be one of those helicopter parents hovering over my children, making sure they don't get into mischief? As if I have nothing better to do.
Well, I guess it's true what the dead say. Every silver lining has a touch of gray.
What silver lining?
All these stupid, very fine people with free thought means we will have endless content for our podcast.
And with that, we are out of time, but we hope you enjoyed this weekend's episode.
And we'll be back next week with more stupid shit people say.
Don't forget, like and subscribe to our channel.
See you next week.
Say you're going to draft like a starting pitcher. You want to know if he's had Tommy John surgery,
What's
right?
Tommy
It's not about
John
being
surgery?
black.
Well, duh.